To Marvel live at New York Comic Con 2014, brought to you by Marvel's Contest of Champions from Kabam. I'm Ryan Penagos, aka Marvel's Agent M.
And I, of course, am Lorraine St. Host and writer of Marvel's The Watcher, and we have a very, very special guest.
Who's coming?
You, Mr. Clark Gregg, air director.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. You just came from a signing.
I just came from a signing.
How was
amazing
it?
Fans at New York Comic Con, really fun, really fun. A lot of people with some of the new Shield comics. And some posters from the new season. It was very exciting.
I gotta ask, how is it seeing Agent Coulson in the comic universe? He's still Agent Coulson all around, like he's everywhere now.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty neat.
I love it. There was a variant that had Deadpool with an RPG in Lola. I almost became Deadpool at that moment. I love it. You know, to add comics to my collection that have me in them. I can't even talk about it. Let's talk about something else before I start crying.
Oh, it's going to be okay. Well, now they call Coulson cheese a lot in the comics.
In the comics, yeah.
Any chance we're going to see that on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anytime
It's not something
soon?
I'll be actively supporting.
Fair.
I'm not quite sure where the nickname. I've heard a couple of takes on it. I don't know. You know, I'm always surprised. Our writers, they've got their hands full with this second season that we're kicking off now. I never know what's going to be in the new script, and I wouldn't be surprised at some point if a new nickname came about. Although so far the new one, director, I'm liking that nickname so far.
Yeah, I mean the second season premiere was huge. You guys like bam right off with the action, right off the top. How has the response been for you guys?
It's been really amazing, really encouraging. It was tricky last year. You start off with a bunch of new characters, and you know the comics we don't have a lot of new characters. There's so many Shield agents from various runs that they can pull from, and so we started off with new people. We couldn't really talk too much about where it was going, and then Captain America: The Winter Soldier came and annihilated Shield, and then you know it all paid off with the former director Fury showing up with my favorite gun, and making Coulson director of Shield. P.S. Shield doesn't exist. So this year. We're on the run. We're hunted. There's about 9 of us in a George Foreman grill and a couple of firearms, and being underdogs feels good.
Yeah, I love, like you were talking about, I love the new cast, but Kyle MacLachlan, we're just getting a taste of him now.
Amazing. Sky's dad, all that stuff. And it's really, to me, really rewarding to see some of the amazing new cast members from last year and this year. But, you know, to have people just freaking out about what happened to Fitz. Is he going to recover? Simmons last week. All these characters, everyone's so absorbed with all these characters they got to meet last year. And then our new ones, the amazing Nick Blood. We had briefly Isabel Hartley, played by Lucy Lawless, and sadly, it's a rougher and tougher world at 9 o'clock on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. People are getting killed off.
For sure.
And we know you're a really big comic book fan. Is it cool getting to see some characters like Absorbing Man and Mockingbird from the comics and getting to
Nobody
see them
tells
in
me
the future?
anything. So all of a sudden I get a script and I see the last, just someone says Carl, and I think, wait a minute. And then I see Creel, and it's Crusher Creel. That's it. And you know, then we shoot it, and you don't get to know until you see it that our amazing visual effects team, led by Mark Kolpak, is delivering this guy turned into diamonds, turned into something that looks a little bit like my friend Groot. And I think, is this a hint? Are we going to get some crossover, some Guardians? We don't know.
Oh. Well, we have lots of tweets, I'm sure, coming in.
We have a couple coming in. You guys use hashtag Marvel NYCC. One from Sophia, who's
oh, Sophia, how's it going? Hey, refresh your browser. Right?
Yeah.
We're having some
So
technical
good at
issues. Refresh your browser.
not even prompted. Thank you.
Because I need any refreshing you can do to this mug, I'll take it.
Sophia, who's in Spain, been watching us every day. She says, I love you, director, but who leads the way when you're dancing with Ming Na?
Oh, yeah.
That's a really good question. Te amo, Sophia. You know, while Agent May would like to lead, she knows better when Bailando comes across the floor to, you know, go over the head, even on the dance floor of Director Coulson. That said, you'll see there's a moment or two where she kind of takes over.
I bet.
It seems like your relationship has really evolved between the two of you. Do you feel like there's a dynamic shift since this new season?
It was really hard last season when it was clear that she was keeping secrets. You know, a lot of Coulson's journey last year was he'd been a company man working for an organization that keeps a lot of secrets, and suddenly a lot of secrets were being kept from him, including one that had to do with what he was doing alive.
Right.
And she was involved with it, and she's kind of his oldest, closest friend, and then some. And so there was a big betrayal, and it was really ugly for a while between them. But I think that really got straightened out. And now she's the only one who really knows his other secret, which is that he's up all night carving in an alien language to be named later. And you know, she's the one who gets to pull his plug if he can't pull it together.
Oh.
I wish I didn't feel like she was a little bit hoping it goes that way.
Director May.
Doesn't sound too bad.
She thinks it has a very nice ring.
I bet she does. Michael W.S. Says, hey, Clark, what's been your biggest fan reaction you've gotten since playing Phil Coulson these years?
I thought you were dead. That was one of them. It really has evolved so much. At first, people, you know, hey, say hi to Tony Stark, and then say hi to Cap, but don't get too close to him because you're a little scary with him. I don't know. People are so. What made Coulson seem to pop, I think, is that he's clearly a bit of a fanboy himself. He's been to some cons. He has his cards he wants signed. He and I share that, and so in a way, he's the avatar for the fans. He is them in this world, and someone who's kind of not super, trying to do a job that requires a lot of superhuman faith.
Yeah. Whereabouts in the season are you guys right now, like in production?
Every time you ask a question, I think, am I allowed to tell him? I'm allowed to tell him.
I mean, that's a
Marvel,
normal
I'm allowed
reaction
to.
from anyone at Marvel when talking about anything.
It's true.
We're finishing up episode 7, about to start episode 8. And my mind has already been blown 4 or 5 times. I read episode 8 on the plane, and the guy next to me was going, why are you gasping? I said, I can't tell you. I can't tell you that.
A bunch of fans were just like, no, 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 when hearing that. What else we got? Fans want to see more cameos from you. Sophia says, thank you. Your Spanish is too much, she says.
That's a nice way of saying, no good.
And then Trini has one that we may or may not be able to talk about. How does Coulson plan to keep Skye in the dark when she's so very inquisitive and savvy and, you know, knows the right buttons to push?
I'm trying to think what there is that he's keeping her in the dark about. Oh, about the fact that he's writing in this language. That's a really tricky one. Certainly as director of S.H.I.E.L.D., he doesn't get to be as open with his original team because it's not safe for them, and he just has to make tougher choices in a world where he's trying to rebuild S.H.I.E.L.D. with such small resources. I think he's, you know, he doesn't get to tell everyone. There's a great line in the episode that aired last week where Fitz asks if he has more secrets, and he says, yeah, I got a hell of a lot more secrets. I'm the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, let's make some non-secrets. Can you tell the fans where to find you? You're very active on Twitter. You're very interactive with all the fans, which I know that they love. Where can they find you?
I'm at Clark Gregg, and I have an official Clark Gregg Facebook page, and we live tweet the show with most of the cast,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of the guest cast. Kyle MacLachlan's joining us on some of the tweets. And we'd love to have you participate with us. We love getting your reaction to the stuff that we're doing and some of the stuff that's coming up. I'm very curious what your reaction might be.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed.
And of course, tune in and watch Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ABC.
8 Central. And whatever you do, please refresh your browser.
We'll be back with even more on Marvel Live. This is Marvel, your universe.